Nebraska has put the finishing touch on their recruiting class. Four-star edge rusher Keona Wilhite has officially committed to play for the Cornhuskers and Matt Rhule in 2024 and beyond. So in this video, I'm going to break down what does this mean for the Cornhuskers, what will he add to this black shirt defense, and everything else in between. So real quick, if you like the content, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps me out, along with subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on any more recruiting videos, film breakdowns, or instant analysis talking about Nebraska football just like this. Nobody is doing it like us on Husker YouTube, so subscribe to join the movement. But let's get to the video talking about Keona Wilhite and what a massive addition this is. If you're not familiar with him at all, he is a four-star edge rusher according to Rivals.com, listed at 6'6", 250. It was a former commit to the University of Washington. And obviously, we saw the fallout there. Kalen DeBoer goes over to Alabama. Wilhite opens up his recruitment, and instantly 3 schools popped out for him: Nebraska, UCLA, and Michigan State. And for a long time, it looked like UCLA was the heavy favorite to land him. They had a couple crystal balls in, according to 24/7. Chip Kelly and their staff visited him multiple times at his house. And it should be noted that UCLA is the closest school to his hometown of Tucson, Arizona. So for a while, it looked like UCLA was a strong lean to land him, and then Nebraska just came out of nowhere. A couple of crystal balls came in from Sean Callahan, Nebraska staff, and everybody started getting hyped up on Twitter. The recruiting staff was tweeting stuff out, and then, of course, he committed today officially. So let's talk about how that happened. There was a couple reasons. One, credit to Matt Rhule's staff. This is something they've preached since they've got here. They continue communication all throughout the recruitment of a player, even when things look rough, like Dylan Raiola, for example, when he's committed to Georgia. They continue their communication, and they land him right at the end. Same thing here with Keona Wilhite. It looked for a long time he was going to land with UCLA, even to the point where a lot of Husker insiders said it was over. The recruitment process was over, but Matt Rhule keeps working, keeps those connections going, and he lands him right there at the last hour. And as for UCLA, you've got to think this is because of their whole situation with Chip Kelly. There were rumors as of last week that Chip Kelly is trying to go back to the NFL to be an offensive coordinator. So this is probably a reason why Keona Wilhite ended up switching to Nebraska. Coaching stability speaks volumes, and that is something Nebraska hopes to have with Matt Rhule for a very long time. So let's talk about him more as a player. Keona Wilhite went to Nebraska on a visit a couple weeks ago, and when he was here, he talked about how great the facilities were, the atmosphere of Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's something you hear a lot from these people who come on visits to Nebraska for their first time. They say they're blown away by the facilities, that they're second to none, that they've been all over the country: Oklahoma, Ohio State, USC, UCLA. And they say Nebraska's facilities are by and far the best they've seen. And they also love the town itself. They say the town is so tight-knit. Everybody's a Nebraska fan. Everybody knows your name. And Keona Wilhite said that was a big reason on why he loved the Cornhuskers. Now, as for what he adds to this defense, we're talking about a guy in his senior year of high school, had 60 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks, earning him first-team honors in his conference. So not only is he a very raw player listed at 6'6", but he has production behind his name. Even so, where I believe he could play as a true freshman if he does all the right things. He will not be an early enrollee, probably will get on campus around July, but he's so naturally gifted, has a great frame, has great speed there at 6'6", where I believe he could. And as for where he'll be on this defense, when he was interviewed by Sean Callahan, he said that he could play anywhere, not only edge rusher, not only interior, but they said he could even play linebacker at that jack position, which is more of that versatile linebacker. You could be an outside backer, you could be a edge rusher, and he also said he could play will, which is again more of that inside linebacker spot. So that shows you his versatility and basically the fact that he can play anywhere on this defense. And that's something that Matt Rhule loves. He loves the players who have the ability to play any position. Basically opens up possibilities in this defense. So that's a little bit about Keona Wilhite and what he adds to the table. It looks like the recruiting class is wrapped up now for Nebraska. This was the last guy they were going after, and they were going after him hard. So the Cornhuskers end the class of 2024 as a top 20 class, one of the best we've seen in the last decade. And now you just got to hope that Matt Rhule keeps piling these up, top 20 class after top 20 class. And then hopefully he gets to improve them, maybe top 15, and then hopefully top 10 as his career progresses as the head coach of Nebraska. So let me know down below what you think about Keona Wilhite committing to Nebraska. Are you hyped up about this? What do you think he adds to this defense and everything else in between? But as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.